Every complex organization operates with a hidden vulnerability, the inevitable departure of individuals holding operational knowledge. When a central figure disappears, the surrounding network destabilizes. Surviving these departures requires strict alignment. It means having the exact right people in the right place at the exact right time to step into the void. Instead of scrambling, you execute a preemptive transfer of responsibility. The goal is a seamless transition, stabilizing the structure before critical knowledge is lost. Succession planning is a highly engineered, data-driven system built specifically to mitigate the operational shock of losing a critical node. Standard internal recruitment is reactive. A vacancy opens, a job is posted, and the organization hopes an existing employee fits the requirements. Succession planning works years in advance to guarantee someone will be ready for high-impact roles the moment they are needed. We will dismantle the architecture of a robust succession plan, moving from identifying initial vulnerabilities to deploying targeted development pipelines. Executing this architecture requires a strict two-phase approach, an exhaustive data collection audit, followed by the deployment of individual development plans. Succession functions as a structural engineering problem. It converts vague human potential into an objective, measurable timeline of operational readiness. Step 1 audits the organizational chart to isolate vulnerabilities. We scan the hierarchy, tagging specific roles as critical operational positions or impending retirement departures. Once identified, Step 2 requires constructing exact success profiles for the individuals who will fill them. A standard job description's list of daily duties does not provide the metrics necessary to measure a future leader's capability. Instead, we build expanded parameters. The profile is nabbed across job purpose, key result areas, work experience, technical knowledge, and behavioral competencies. By upgrading to this detailed framework, you create a precise, data-rich target. Future candidates can now be objectively measured against this standard rather than subjective opinions. This table visualizes the data collection audit. We add columns scoring risk against impact of loss. Identifying a high-potential candidate with a 1 to 3 year readiness gap does not help if you leave them exactly where they are. You need an active mechanism to force that development timeline. This brings us to Phase 2, the individual development plan. We take a candidate identified with a gap and build a structured timeline bridging their current abilities to the target role. The plan splits into 2 parallel tracks. The top track addresses behavioral competencies through specific development programs and targeted behavioral training. The second track tackles technical knowledge systematically through internal learning modules or tailored external certifications. By treating technical skills and behavioral traits as completely separate, measurable tracks, you remove ambiguity. This is the only reliable method to guarantee a fully qualified successor is constructed by the time that target deadline hits. The durability of a succession system depends on its constant reevaluation and adjustment. Maintaining the system requires a strict division of labor. The Human Resources Department focuses on macro-level architecture. They develop the overarching succession plan and manage the complex assessment tools used to grade employees. The specific business unit handles the daily execution. They actively monitor their successors, update the plan annually, and directly manage the execution of the individual training programs. If HR builds the framework, but the business unit fails to enforce the timeline, the continuous development cycle collapses entirely. Looking back at the organizational network, the threat of losing personnel remains, but the vulnerability is neutralized. Every critical role is now tethered to a specific successor, carrying an exact readiness tag. The financial returns on this structure are immediate. It directly minimizes the severe costs and operational risks associated with a sudden leadership vacuum or a prolonged external executive search. These mechanisms also stabilize the workforce. When high-potential staff see their growth mapped onto a multi-year individual development plan, they have a documented trajectory toward leadership that encourages long-term retention. A mature succession architecture stops a company from simply reacting to talent loss. It engineers a continuous, self-replenishing supply of operational power.